Yes guys, how are we? Whoop, I hope you're keeping well. So apologies for the angle. I'm parked outside the front of my house, and I'm at a slight little bit of an angle, so I'm a little bit down like this. But welcome back to another YouTube video. We are just about to leave for Ultraflex Derby, as I am shooting with the boy Cooper Films again today for Explosive Fibres. So I'm going to take you along through the journey, and then we will go through a little bit of a mini cut wrap up, as my mini cut is finished a little bit sooner than I anticipated. I was meant to actually finish up on Friday. However, I sent my midweek check-in to Cuba yesterday, Monday morning, because our official check-in's on a Friday. Midweek one technically is on a Monday. And he was happy with the condition. We're exactly where we needed to be. So he decided to pull out all the lipolytics, pull the steps down, bring the food back up, and run a deload. So we're currently on day 2 out of 4 of the deload. And when we get back, we're going to be getting stuck into that new training plan that I ran over in the last video. So I'm super fucking looking forward to that. But I feel really good now today, okay? Even after one rest day yesterday and just not having to take a rake of lipolytics this morning, I'm feeling good today. So I know after today, even with a little bit of travel and then another 2 days rest, I'm going to be ready to fucking run through walls in the gym when we get back in action on Friday. So I'll run through the food adjustments that have been made and everything else like that later on in the video. But for now, I need to hit the road, guys. I need to go to Tesco and actually fill up my front right tyre, because I got a little bit of a slow puncture at the moment. And with all my bad luck, if you follow this channel for a while, with all my bad luck with cars and travel and everything else, right? I'm just not chancing not pumping that up. I only pumped it up like 4 or 5 days ago, but I'm going to just re-pump it again, just in case. So head to Tesco, pump up the tyre, maybe get a cheeky little monster, and then we hit the road for Ultraflex Derby. So I'll catch you there.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Oh God, I need to fucking wash this car as well. Look at those bad boys. Flat as fuck. Look at that as well. Not the best driving skills, but here we are. We have landed. It's Cooper Films, boy. What's up? Made a pretty good time today, but I made the tragic mistake of having my monster 45 minutes out today instead of 20 minutes out, so I'm absolutely fucking bursting now. Woo! Go on, Becky Hill girl. Right, we have just wrapped up the shoot with Cooper. Got some very nice pieces today. There's some cool Explosive Fibres acid wash t-shirts. However, I'm a little bit afraid they're going to shrink after they come out of the wash, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Did a couple of post-photo shoot rounds, couldn't resist, brought my trunks, got Cooper to take a couple of photos of me, and took a little bit of a video as well. So pretty happy with how I look, and Cooper actually had some pretty nice things to say about me as well, because obviously he's seen me the whole way through my last competition prep. I think we did like 4 shoots for Explosive Fibres in the lead up to stage, so he kind of seen me as I was kind of leaning out and at certain body weights, etc. And he's seen me a couple of weeks ago, and obviously he's seen me at the MK Classic, and yeah, he had some nice things to say about the progress that has been made. So good to know that I actually have made some progress, or somebody else actually thinks I have actually made some progress. Nice to kind of get the confirmation from other people every now and again, especially because Cooper hasn't really seen me in a while, but he has actually seen me, you know, at certain stages. So yeah, I'm just rambling, but our drive home, there's a little bit of traffic now, which is quite annoying, but I'll get home, I'll run you through all the updates to the current nutrition, and I also might pop that round the posing that I did into this video as well, so you can kind of take a look at what I'm like. A little bit of a different kind of setting and lighting, and I set the camera up a little bit lower, so it kind of makes my legs look better than they normally do, because when I'm in Ultraflex and I'm recording, it's a little bit too close to me, and if I put it too low, it just makes my upper body look small. You know what I mean, guys, right? When you're recording on a tripod, it has to be at a certain height and a certain angle to make your upper and your lower look equal, right? And not one bigger than the other. You put the phone too high, it makes your legs look small. You put the phone too low, it makes your upper body look small. You know, that's the secret. That's the secrets, guys. That's the secrets. So we're going to hit the road now. Hopefully it's not too much of a painful drive home, and then we will probably chillax for the remainder of the day. Catch you soon. Yes guys, what's happening? So it is the next day. Welcome back. I didn't record anything yesterday because I was actually smashed after I got back from that photo shoot. So I think I spoke a little bit too soon in the morning time when I was amped up. I was in the car leaving to go down saying I was feeling full of energy because it certainly hit me later on during the day. I always actually find that, and this is just an observation, right? This is just me. But when I'm doing a diet, and I obviously kind of escalate the clen dosage upwards as I'm kind of moving along. Once I pull that clen out completely, or even if I reduce it from a much higher dose down to a lower dose, I always actually notice that my energy like tanks, as in like my energy throughout the day. I always feel like much tireder as a result, but did see like a huge shift downwards in resting heart rate last night, so that was good, even though sleep wasn't the best because of that fucking monster I had midday. So my caffeine tolerance is not that high at the moment. I've been trying to limit my caffeine intake a little bit, which I generally tend to do at times just to make sure that like I'm just not taking the piss with it, right? But anyway, I'm gonna run through the adjustments that we have made to the nutrition plan now. So just gonna take out my phone so I can let you know. So obviously towards the end of a diet, we did run the calories quite low, right? They were at like 3,000 training day and like 2,300 rest day, which are basically like my end of prep calories, okay? Now, we have made some adjustments, but only very minor adjustments, right? We pulled the steps from 12K down to 9K. However, Kuba just told me do like 6 to 8K, you know, just small walks after meals just for this deload. So I think I hit like 6.5K yesterday. I hit like 8.5K the day before. I'll probably do like 6 to 8K over the next 2 days and then get it back up to 9K. Once I'm kind of back in the gym, back eating a little bit more food. However, what we have done is we've added 25 grams of oats and 10 grams of almond butter to meal 1 and meal 6 on the rest day, which is today. We've added 200 grams of potatoes to my 2 zero carb meals that I was having. On a rest day, it's plus 45 oats total, plus 20 almond butter total, plus 400 potatoes. So it's actually not that many calories. It's literally like 300 calories up, 400 calories on my rest day. And then on the training day, all we've done is plus 25 oats, plus 10 almond butter, and then plus 10 almond butter in the evening time, and plus 25 grams of rice. So very, very minor food adjustments. Funnily enough, okay, even though the clen was pulled out, I've rested from the gym. I did the lowest amount of steps yesterday that I've done in probably about 4 months. I actually dropped about a kilo, right? So it was 98.4 kg this morning. So that is a mega fucking low for me. And I think what's happening here is literally just a drop off in fatigue, right? Even though I did feel a little bit fatigued yesterday, I think it's maybe just some fatigue, some inflammation kind of shifting. And I'd probably imagine, to be honest, with another 2 rest days, another 2 deload days, my weight potentially might even drop again by the end of the week. But I think we'll probably end up just holding calories where they are for at least another week, just to kind of see how I respond and just to see when I do go back training and I'm eating training day food, which is obviously a little bit higher, if my body weight will start to slowly kind of creep upwards. But to be honest, food focus is like super low at the moment. My motivation to just nail things down for the next 22 weeks as fucking diligently as I can is fucking sky high. This is the last push up before prep begins, guys. So I'm really not fucking about now. And I think I took the piss too much with the off-plan meals. My last push up probably had 1 every single week. So I'm just not going to do that at all now. And if I do have off-plan meals, it's going to be sushi or it's going to be like Wagamamas or Thai. It's not going to be fucking Five Guys and McDonald's and shit like that, right? So just gotta flip this chicken now, make sure it doesn't burn. Even though when I am cooking my chicken, right, I do actually like to leave it burn a little bit underneath and kind of sear it and then cook it more on one side than the other side. So all I have to do is flip it, leave it for like 2-3 minutes, and then I kind of like, you know, chop them in half with the spatula here, and then they're good to go. They are nice and charred, almost like barbecue chicken would be, and that's just the way I like to have my chicken lately. So there we go. I just need to get the rice on now. Throw this in the microwave so that I can actually have some warm rice with this meal. So I don't think there's anything else I need to cover in this little check-in video. I'm going to show you my little explosive fibers haul in a little while, and that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm going to neck this meal into me now, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay, so we are back at our favourite place here, Meadowhall Shopping Centre. I need to return the shirt and the tie that I got for my cousin's wedding because they just don't suit. The tie is too light and the shirt does not fit me. It fits my chest and shoulders, of course, but it's like a fucking bin bag around the waist after I tucked it into the suit. So I'm gonna return these and just get a shirt online off like Tailored Athlete or something along those lines. Chloe has actually for once done a little bit of a clear out of the car.
These aren't mine though, that's your monster from yesterday.
Yeah, but you like to just clog up the side of my car with
you told me this bottle of water was for the windscreen, so
with many bottles. Oh yeah, it is for the windscreen actually, I forgot about that, but it's not the winter anyway, it's the summer, so we don't have to deal with the frostiness. There she is, boy. Tremendous. Yes guys, how are we? We are back. So a little bit of a physique update here. 1 meal in, it is now 9:30 in the morning. Not looking too bad. I actually didn't drop body weight again this morning. However, I was still 99.2 or something like that. So we are still below the 100s. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I got off Explosive Fibres. So obviously you've seen this t-shirt in my last clip here. I'm really liking this. They've got these new logos, and then we've got that on the back as well. So loving this. This is like a peachy kind of an acid wash one, and then I also got this in like an orange, like a rusty kind of a colour, and then we've also got a black, which is quite nice, and I'll definitely get a lot of wear out of this, to be perfectly honest. So there we go. These are a really nice fit up on the chest and the shoulders. They kind of drop down on the hem a little bit here, and we've got Explosive Fibres on the back. So definitely going to be using these as a pump cover for the remainder of the summer, as they're a little bit lighter, and yeah, they're just a really nice fit. And then I got this one, which is probably my favourite, to be honest. I do love a good acid wash blue. So this is very summery. So just got the badge there, which is a little bit more visible on this blue, and then on the back. So yeah, it's like a tie-dye acid wash sort of a vibe. So liking that. I got this, which I probably will not wear at all because it's kind of like a towel material. Probably won't wear this until the winter because it is like very towely, and it is too warm for that right now at the moment. These are like an old release, so I'm not quite sure why they gave me these, but these are quite nice too. I got a yellow and I got a blue, and these have the big Explosive Fibres logo on the back. So these are pretty sick. But what I find with these actually is, even though like they're really light and they're ribbed, the material actually is very like, not heavy when it's on you, but it's very sweaty. Like you really hold on to heat and soak up the sweat quite a lot in this. I like the way there's like a nice kind of neck here, like a pretty big neck, so you can kind of see the chest vibes going on. But this is pretty baggy on me at the moment. I have a couple more of these in an XL as well, but yeah, I need to gain another 10 kilos back before this is going to fit me properly again, to be perfectly honest. So like I said, I also got the yellow in this as well with the black, which is quite nice. And then I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was pretty much it, bar just like the standard charcoal joggers. And then we've got these shorts as well, which are quite nice, and they've got the little just Explosive Fibres badge on the bottom, and a little button pocket. So I'm a fashion blogger now, fitness, fashion, bodybuilding, but liking the look now at the moment, but definitely looking forward to pushing on from here, getting the body weight back up, filling out those tops a little bit again. For anyone who might ask, I am an extra large in all of those Explosive Fibres t-shirts, and then I wear a large in the bottoms. A large in the bottoms is absolutely perfect because the waist is actually nice and tight, but then the length and the fit around the glutes is quite nice. I've got a couple of Gasp shorts, and I actually have them in like an extra large, and the waist is like a very loose on me, but the shorts obviously are a little bit baggy on my glutes as well because I need to bring those glutes up. Glutes are quite small, so the Explosive Fibres shorts and bottoms are actually like a much better fit than Gasp if I was to kind of compare them. And then the sizing on the tops, like with Explosive Fibres, it's a little bit hit and miss. As you can see, those acid wash t-shirts, they're like perfect fit up the top and at the arm, but they could be a little bit longer. And then the other ones are like way too long, but then too baggy up here. So the sizing kind of tends to be a little bit hit and miss. Some of their pieces, the material kind of shrinks in the wash, some of it doesn't. But overall, to be honest, for the price of the explosive fiber stuff and how it looks, I think it is pretty sick. So I'm going to eat a meal now, guys, and then I'm going to catch up with you upstairs in the office for a little bit of a rundown of the progression over this mini cut, where we started, where we finished, and a couple of pictures and comparisons for you as well. Yes, guys, what's happening? So I thought this would be a slightly easier way to just run through the changes made over the course of this 10-week mini cut, then kind of overlaying it over the video, so we will get stuck right in. So I've got some pictures here, full round of posing from start to finish. 10 weeks in the difference, and I believe it was 110.4 kilos when we first started at the end of a cruise, down to a low of 99.2. I believe. So 11.2 kilos gone in 10 weeks. And we did actually take a deload and a diet break halfway through. Now, that diet break lasted for like 5 days and food was increased, but I think body weight held during that time. It didn't actually drop, right? So I wasn't really pushed back into a surplus. I was kind of pushed up to maintenance for about 5 days, had a little bit of an extended deload from the gym of about 2 weeks. And yeah, so like in terms of full fat loss, probably only really about 9 weeks of fat loss here and 11.2 kilos pulled. So pretty efficient, especially considering performance held super, super high. So we got the front relax here. Obviously, biggest noticeable difference is going to be the waistline, right? Much tighter vacuum, much tighter waist. Now, one of the improvements that we really need to make heading into this next push-up is going to be my front delts here. Okay, so you can see when I get into this pose, right? Now, I have an issue that I always mention on this channel with my right shoulder. And if you actually look at this picture, you can see here that this left shoulder is a little bit more capped, whereas this right shoulder looks super flat, right? And I think it's because something is like pinching down. I've got an issue with like my tendon or something up here. So when I'm hitting the front lat spread, when I'm hitting the back lat spread, you can see it like my right shoulder gets kind of pulled down. It's not a muscle tightness issue because I get physio every 2 weeks. I'm always getting it rubbed out. I'm always getting the top of the shoulder rubbed out. I think it's just a tendon thing or some injury that I've had for years that's just affecting how I can move at the shoulder joint there, which is quite annoying, right? Because when you look at this side, right, over here, you can actually see that I can get that cap in my delt up and I can kind of get my lat out a little bit wider here, right? Whereas on this side, it's like I'm kind of forced back and down, okay? You can see that my shoulder is very, very flat here. My delt is very flat here and my lat doesn't actually swoop out as much as it does on that right-hand side, right? It's not as noticeable when I'm carrying a little bit more body fat, but over here when I'm carrying less body fat on the right, you can kind of see that. I think the front relax as well as a pose, I kind of need to tweak around with it a little bit. You can see that this front lat spread shot, like, or front relax shot, sorry, this is good for classic, but for open bodybuilding on a heavyweight bodybuilding stage, is it the best? I might try and see, can I do like the physique one where I'm kind of like crunched over, physique / Hattie Chupin where I'm like crunched over and I like roll my shoulders forward. That might make the delts look a little bit bigger here. But yeah, it's something I'm going to have to play around with. Obviously as well, you know, you can see a lot more detail through the quads here. Rect fem, kind of some feathering here on the right hand side. So very, very happy with the improvements to my legs and how my legs actually held so far this phase. My legs don't actually look like they've lost a ton of size. They do a little bit from the side, but that's just body fat. But my legs really faded towards the tail end of prep, which wasn't that pleasant, right? So we've got a quarter turn to the right here, and again, you know, you can see some difference in the legs, but it's literally just body fat, right? I can obviously rotate a lot more here now. I can get my right shoulder around a lot more, and I can actually kind of just lean into this oblique a lot more here. So you can see my abs better. You can see like a better V taper into the waist, and you know, like I kind of mentioned previously in the last video, you can see my hamstring, the way it like inserts right down below the knee, and you can see this split here. But with my glutes, they just look a little bit flat. Like if we draw a line straight up here, like there's not much glute here on that side. So that's definitely something that needs to be sorted out. Now, upper body is looking very flat here. Okay, obviously I had quite a sharp drop the last like week and a half of this mini cut because of the food adjustments. So, you know, I actually wasn't really liking these pictures, these end of mini cut pictures. I think the pictures from the previous week actually looked a little bit better, but I just wanted to put these in for comparison purposes. So chest and upper body and, you know, shoulders and chest definitely look a little bit flatter here, but I think in like 2 weeks time, after I'm up another kilo or two and I filled out a little bit and I'm out of a deficit, it will look a lot better, right? Now,
this is going to be where you're going to see the biggest improvements. Okay, is actually from the back, not improvements, but difference in body composition. Right. You can notice like a lot more leanness going on here. Now, something I'm kind of happy with is you can kind of just see the edge of my lower lats now, and I never really had that before. I think if I was to lose a little bit more body fat, that might disappear a little bit further. But this like just chunk of lower lat here, this is something I've really been trying to bring up. I feel like some of the exercises I'm doing have really been helping this, like the Cybex Eagle row and a couple other things like that. But, you know, my lats kind of insert quite high, right? I'm kind of all teres and lat up here. They just pop out under my armpits. But I've got no kind of lower hanging lat here. And I really want to thicken that up as the years kind of go on. Glutes, you know, don't look the worst from the back. Like they're quite squared off here. You know what I mean? And you can see some very, very faint lines in the glutes here as well, which is more noticeable in my back double and my back lat spread. But they just need to be bigger. They need to be bigger from the side, right? And obviously, like I've got quite strong rear delts. Like my rear delts pop out quite a lot in these back shots, but it's just those front and side delts from the front shots that really need to come up, right? And even from the side here, like you can see as I've leaned out, like look at my shoulder here, right? Like you can see my rear delt literally popping out and my tricep just coming out a little bit towards the side. But then when you look at just this front and side part of my shoulder, it just kind of fades away, right? So I need to build a thickness in the side and thickness in the anterior deltoid. I partly think it is just a genetic insertion thing, but look, we'll try and work on it as best as possible, right? I need to rotate a little bit more on this right lat spread, but I can kind of tense through the glute here a little bit more. And again, you can kind of see what I'm on about, right? The hamstring doesn't look as good here, but the glutes are just a little bit flat. Okay, I want to get more roundness to the glutes, and I think that will make the hamstrings look like they hang a little bit more too as well. So yeah, but you know, I'm happy with how my arms look from the side. I think my arms look really good from the side, but overhead, there's still a lot to be desired. Okay, so next up, front double bicep. Right, again, pretty happy with how the size of my arms has held. I think my arms don't look terrible now in the front double bicep, which is good, right? Waist obviously is tightened up quite a lot, and you know, legs kind of held their size pretty well. So I think this is a pretty good shot for me. I quite like my front double relative to other shots. So I think again, I just need more lat here. I just need a lot more lat and a lot more quad sweep just to give myself like even more of an X-frame, right? Because I have an X-frame in this shot, but not as much as I would like, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Next up, front lat spread. As you can see by the shoulder here, you can see exactly what I mean. Like, look at this, right? I can get this lat swooping out up here. I can get this shoulder capping up, and I can rotate it around really forward. And then on my right hand side again, look, flat delt pinch down, and lat not coming fully around. So this looks terrible. It looks super unbalanced, you know. And like, even if you just draw a line over here from like my delt to this side, look, you can just see that flatness there, right? Like, it's so apparent to see just the delt and the lat there in comparison to this side. It looks terrible. It looks like I'm after getting like a tear in my shoulder somewhere, right? So it really frustrates me. But look, you know, waist has improved, midsection nice and tight. I think, yeah, I just need more muscle to make this a really good pose for me. And more lats, to be honest. It looks good in these check-in shots, but when I hit it in like a video or when I hit it on stage, it's definitely not a good shot for me. Side chest, still haven't really mastered the posing on this one, but you know, as you can see, like I have lost some leg size here from the side. I think I'm not posing it as well. I think my knee's a little bit more out rather than a little bit more in, like it is on this side. So I lose a little bit of hamstring sweep, but legs are kind of dry enough from the side here. You know, I can kind of see the obliques, see the abs pretty well. And, you know, again, I think I'm just a little bit flat through the upper body and the chest, right? Side tricep here. Again, just tighter midsection, leaner arms, much leaner legs. Hamstring doesn't look too bad here. Obviously hitting a little bit of a different variation, but it is what it is. You can even see the difference in my fucking face here, guys, right? Like, look at my big, jolly, chunky cheeks and my fucking chin over here on this side relative to my nice lean face there on the right. Yeah, quite funny. Right, back double bicep. Huge difference here, right? You can see now the weakness in my lats here because I've got this very like straight up back, right? Because the lats insert so high. So when I do hit the front double, like it's literally just a little bit of lat, a little bit of teres here, and I've just got a lot of back. I've just got a lot of back and a lot of erector. It looks good when it's lean because you can kind of see there's like almost some feathering there. But yeah, it kind of leaves a lot to be desired width wise, right? And you know, I think like the arms have improved. They are coming up a little bit here. I need to work on my external rotation, get a little bit further back, but I don't really like how my hamstrings look on this. I think, or not my hamstrings, sorry, my triceps. I need more tricep here for sure. I think my forearms being so big as well really like overshadows my arms. Like if you look at this shot, like look at the size of my forearms relative to my arms, right? My forearms literally look the exact same size as my arms. Now my arms are 17 inches, but my forearms are like 14 and a half inches. So they're actually not too far behind my arms, which is pretty pathetic. And I think I don't want to have like small, skinny forearms. I think that looks bad, right? But like I need to have the big arms to match it. And yeah, it just looks hilarious in that shot. But is what it is, guys. Now hamstrings and glutes look a lot better here because I can switch them on. So you know you can see all the lines on the hamstring on that left leg, right leg. They wouldn't kind of come in until I got a little bit leaner. You can see the kind of lines on the glutes there as well. And lower back, obviously, much improved, right? I think when I get really lean, my back double is a really good shot for me, but just more weight needed, and potentially even a little bit more thickness to the back, but you know I don't think it's absolutely terrible. Front lat spread, again you can see the pinching of the right shoulder here. This elbow can get further forward and wrapped around, and you can actually almost like see the little like indent here, right? If you actually look closely, see the way this is smooth over here on this side, and see the way there's like just a lump of skin like sticking out almost. Don't know what the fuck is wrong with my shoulder, guys, but it is very, very annoying, right? It really throws off this shot, but it is what it is. Probably my worst shot, back lat spread, in terms of how I hit it, but yeah, look. Big improvements here. Obviously, much leaner up around the kind of delt there, and good separation between that delt and the chest. Some lines in the chest, intercostals and obliques coming in there, and obviously the quad has gotten a much leaner. But when I do get leaner, you can see here with my quad, right? It doesn't sweep around much to the side. And then again here, look at my really flat glutes at the back, right? So for this shot, you know, I want more sweep on the quad, and I just want more thickness in the glute there at the back. There's some big lines. There'd be some big glutes, but yeah, you know what I mean. And then we have got the other ab and thigh variation. Did I go over this one? I don't think I did. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, so big difference in the waist there. I really like this shot. I think this is a good shot for me. And to be honest, like with my shots, right, I really like my front double bicep and my back double bicep. I really like my abs and thigh. And my side chest is okay. They're the 4 classic poses. And this is why I'm kind of inclined to really make a stab for classic next year, because I still think as a bodybuilder, I have a lot of gaps. Now, I don't have the smallest waist, guys, and I don't have the greatest shape, but I don't think I have the worst shape either. I think I can look classic-ish in some shots, but the posing definitely needs to be worked on. And most muscular here, so just a lot more shapely, a lot leaner, but a little bit flat. So that is the physique, guys. Minus 11.2 kilos, I reckon, even though I'm a little bit flat here. Like I was 91 kilos the morning of stage for the MK. I'm 99.2 kilos there on the right. So I'm 8.2 kg above the stage weight I was at the MK. How much do I reckon I have to be stage peeled from there? Maybe about 6 kilos, potentially. Who knows? Maybe about 6 kilos. Hopefully 6 kilos, because that would mean that I've gained a solid 2 kilos at least. And I think 2 to 3 kilos, 2.5 to 3 kilos, generally what I tend to gain in a push up. So now one other thing to take into consideration here too, actually, is I don't have any GH in, okay? And I haven't since January. So the last time I would have been at this body composition / this weight, I probably would have had an extra kilo / kilo and a half of water weight from the GH. So like, I reckon if I had the GH in right now, like I did on prep, I would actually probably be much heavier. Like I'd probably still be above 100 kilos. So look, that's just something very small and minor to take into consideration. But that is the mini cut wrap up, guys. Now we just keep it nice and slow from here, increase the food gradually, try and maintain body composition for as long as we possibly can. Probably aim to get back up to around 112 kilos. 111.8 was my highest weigh of the last push up. I thought I had 115 kilos in me, to be honest, but my appetite was fucked. But I think I can probably get back up to that 112 kilos this time around. So that would be gaining, half a kilo a week, probably for the next, 12 weeks, or just over half a kilo a week. A pound and a half a week for the next, 22 weeks would probably see me up at like 112 ish, potentially 113, but much leaner than the last time. And to be honest, I'd be happy with that, because if I got to 112 kilos, and I was much leaner than my last push up. My last push up was much leaner than when I started prep. I started last prep at 108.8. Let's say I start this year's prep, 112.8. So 4 kilos up, but leaner by like, maybe a few kilos. I think that'd be good, right? And aim to be about 95, 96 kg on stage. I reckon. So just bigger and leaner. And even if I am 95, 96 kilos on stage, my classic cap is 98.4, and my cap for the heavyweights is 102 kilos until you're super heavy. So still have tons of room to grow into a heavyweight bodybuilder. And I actually still have tons of room to grow into my classic amateur cap as well. So that's a wrap up, guys. Peace out.